Hello students, myself Syed Hussain, Assistant Professor in EEE Department in KGRT College of Engineering and Technology. Okay, so here in this session we are going to discuss about voltage control techniques in the power systems. Okay, voltage control techniques. So this is today's topic. So here the voltage control techniques are necessary in power systems because in power systems we need to generate the power supply, to transmit the power to the consumers, right. So our main aim of the power system is to provide the continuity power supply to the consumers without any interruption, as well as we need to transfer the power with quality is necessary here. So in case if there is no controlling techniques, are done by power systems, there will be some fluctuations will be appear. There will be some voltage fluctuations will be done. So what will happen if the voltage fluctuations done? So there will be some failures. Will be happen on the insulation, right? On the insulation failures is a major cause for any damage of electrical machines. So in industry areas, most of the motors are induction motors, and some of the industries are uses the DC motors or like that, right? So that motors cannot be handled with the voltage variations. So we need to maintain a constant voltage profile throughout the power system. Why? Because from the power plant we are generating the power supply, and we need to transfer the power over a long distance, right? Over a long distances. So during this transmission, we may get some losses. Right? If you consider a power system, just I am indicating a sinusoidal. Why? Because in power systems you are generating the power supply in the form of AC, right? So this will be the transmission. Just I am taking a single line diagram, and here I am connecting the loads. Just consider these are the loads, and this will be the transmission line, and this will be the generating station. So as usual we need to represent some excitation to the alternator. Okay. So this is just a simple representation of the power system. Okay. Now here we are connecting the different kind of loads here. And that loads may be inductive or capacitive also. Okay. Basically, when load increases, the voltage will be decreases. When load increases, the voltage starts decreases. Okay. And because of this, the total feeders and bus bars may get disturbed, and total voltage profile will be varies. Okay. To maintain a constant voltage profile, we need to maintain a constant equipment devices at the receiving end. Okay. So basically two kind of problems will arise in power systems. Only two kind of problems will arise. So regarding the voltage. Okay. So those are over voltage, and another one is under voltage. Over voltage and under voltage. Okay, everybody knows about this over voltage and under voltage, right? So basically this over voltages occur due to in transmission line. Basically these are occurred due to that Faraday effect. What is the Faraday effect? The receiving end voltage is more than the sending end voltage. Okay. So and another reason that will be that leading loads. Because of these two things, over voltage may occur in the transmission line, right? So another thing is the under voltage. When we get this type of under voltage conditions, and that will be because of lagging load type of conditions. So lagging loads means generally you know that in all electrical machines, induction motors plays a vital role in the consumer side, right? So every consumer using the induction motors. So all the induction motors and the single phase motors and three phase motors are lagging load conditions only. Okay. Now here, because of these condition, we have to be maintain a constant profile. Otherwise the consumer may lose a severe damage. Okay. Now here there are two methods. We can approach to maintain a constant voltage profile in power system. So basically the first method that we can propose here, excitation control, and another will be the external device control. So these are only the two methods here. We can control the voltage without any fluctuations. Okay. Now excitation control means, if you look at here, for example, voltage has increased at the load end side. Okay, the load is increasing at the receiving end side. So obviously to neutralize this, I need to increase some excitation. I need to change the excitation, right? Okay, so that I can increase the voltage level my power plant. Okay, so that the voltage maintains a constant figure. Okay, but when excitation changes, these are also another bus bars, right? For example, if you consider this is a Vijayawada transmission line, if it is a Palvancha transmission line, so what will happen? If I change the excitation, the Vijayawada transmission line will maintain a constant voltage. Why? Because here the voltage has increased. I need to balance this, so I have changed this excitation. So the voltage maintains constant. But unfortunately, here there is no voltage variation. In this Palvancha transmission line, there is no voltage change. So if I change the excitation in the power plant, this bus bar will get affected. This is one kind of major drawback in case of excitation control method. Okay, so that we are going for another method is external device control method. So that external device control methods means, so here we are using compensation, that we can call the compensators. Okay. Compensators, series compensators, and another one, a synchronous condensers. Okay. And in the most of the cases, in the early days, they used to take boost transformers. So these are only the methods to maintain a constant voltage profile. Okay, these are only the methods we can provide in transmission line system. Okay, guys. So out of these four methods, we can observe L and C parameters. That means reactors and capacitors will play an important role in the transmission line. So reactors means the inductive coils will be there, and capacitor means, as usual, you know, the batteries. Okay. Now here the voltage, power, frequency, load angle, excitation, these are only the things plays an important role in any transmission line. Okay. So here the power is a constant. As a magnitude wise, the power has to maintain the constant, and frequency, as usual, we know that frequency is also constant, and the load angle sometimes changes. We can also take it as a constant. But here, instead of this power, we have one more power, that is a reactive power. So there is a relation between voltage and reactive power. voltage and reactive power. Why? Because the reactive power, average value of reactive power is almost 0. There is no energy loss because of this reactive power, but because of this reactive power, the voltage profile is get disturbed. The fluctuations may be occurred, okay, because of this reactive power only. So we need to compensate this reactive power, so that we are calling that reactive power compensation methods. Okay, another name for this control methods is also known as the reactive power compensation methods. Okay guys, so I hope you understood. Thank you.